This is mainly for Sil, but of course it goes to the places that it's allowed to go. 8:09. I'm about to drink the coffee to get to the fresh brain stuff. So I'm on a fresh brain now, but it's before the Derma, which is I think I drank a swig of yesterday's coffee, right? So the video I made you, right? It's still phase 3, but I had to visit probably so I got up around 8:30, 6:30, and I've been just kind of coasting, letting myself don't gotta jump right into something energy. And now my brain is saying to get the COT stuff done, and my weekend stuff. And my visitor, I probably need to cut the fan on. Like I feel. Hold on. I hope if we get louder, it's just me and you talking. So, but yeah, we gotta still cut everybody on. I'm honoring the. I'm honoring the voices in my head, right? So my visitor said, "You make the million in the middle." That was the phrase, right? So then it came in like a cloud, and it's how it's funny. I was putting into the TV show The Others, and the guy that seemed like the aloofest, the craziest of the group, Warren. I really more see the world the way Warren sees the world, right? Everybody had a gift, but how Warren showed his shit, that's kind of mine, right? Mostly. So most representative of how this shit happen for me. So you make the million in the middle is what the phrase is that came through, right? So I'm processing it, and I'm seeing that. I don't see it, of course, because everything's off, but the battery's low. Hold on. That's an easy fix. You can just do that right there. There we go. So as I'm processing million in the middle, right? I rehear myself telling you to be making the tier level 1 50-50, making tier level 2 55-45, making tier level 3 70-30, right? And so there's not much benefit from a purely just I want to just make money off these niggas, right? From 50 to 50-50 to 55-45, but there's a double in price. That's where it starts off at. And my visitor said, anybody, which I say in the video, but I didn't make this connection I'm making right now, anybody that comes up to tier 3 to pay 10x from tier 1 is looking, if they're smart as us, to not even use the Jabir method, because it has so many safety restrictions in it, because Jabir is looking to make 20 basis points in and out, blah blah blah, because we got size, right? And it's an assembly line. Somebody that's coming to pay $500 a month want to bet a percent because of the accuracy that Jabir is going to be showing, right? So they're not even super going to care about the split on the other joint, right? And they paying 10x of tier 1 in at least the initial model. So as I'm sitting there working with the thoughts, hold on. With you make your million in the middle, and you love on, but then it went more onto set, and you love on your premier customers. That's your babies that you let into other deals and that you're cultivating that group. So you can say, hey, listen, I got a surprise for y'all, and then it becomes value in abundance. So every time we throw something over there, they get to hear it, which become like the mastermind group board of directors without any type of thinking they got say so in our model, right? And you know that if I'm the person that's the client, and I got the proof that we are who I believe we are, I'm gonna end up being a $500 a month client because I want to get to the you know what I mean? So what my visitor said is, you take the tier 1 and the admin, the affiliates only get paid a portion of the subscriptions, not, they don't get affected by the splits, right? So my visitor said is we should, and again, I can build them out of myself. I'm just giving it to you because this is phase 3. You know what I'm saying? This is significance, but making people have to pass their own test to be in our space. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I was a cheap date at Project 100. Like, I mean, I was almost prostituting us. You know what I mean? And then I still gotta figure a way to include Rambus in this model. And the real difference is, he would do his own marketing for his audience, if that makes sense. So Rambus would be able to the piggyback off of this model and be in a separate profit structure than what you'll be building, but the same type of shit in my imagination, right? Then it's just and potentially the marketing stuff that we working on now would benefit you and Rambus the same, but separately, because y'all be executing it separately. And Rambus, I think, in all fairness, at phase 3, this model for you would be outside of the partnership from as far as the profit split from our Freedom Family Movement stuff. And this would just be yours, is what's in my imagination, right? So my thought here is, when we get to phase 3 and we're building these potential client bases or audiences, that I don't need to touch it money wise, right? Because I'm in that's in my, and I reserve the right to revisit that too. I'm just giving y'all what's in my head this season. So yeah, so however that go, right? Yeah. Anyway. Definitely, Rambus, you can participate without having to share money with Basil. That's 1,000%. Anyway, so what my visitors we're talking about it as I'm getting myself together for this, even to make this video, and it feels good on my spirit to make membership level 1, right, the 50-50, to make membership level 2 70-30, and make membership level 3 somewhere like 80-20, or even potentially 90-10, potentially, right? But something like, definitely where that 80, that 70-30 is such a big jump from 50-50 that it warrants by itself the $100 a month, which then becomes the make your million, right? And so, which is where Rambus, my thought for you is, right? Because I know in this early stage, I have, because me and Jabir are talent here, that I'm properly respecting their talent, and then making the business side on the other side of talent, right? But I think at phase 3, because the real estate is inside phase 2 thought processes, right? So we're already still building real estate to create good debt, to then do whatever makes sense in that good debt model, right? That's what's coming up, right? Is to make the people that are tier 3, which would be then the representation of our intention for the Project 100 group, right? And all what we did was we gave such a low barrier to entry, assuming that everybody would follow the agreement in what we talked about in the agreement, right? We're going to go to phase 1, get to phase 2, get to phase 3, and then phase 3 will be here, and people came in phase one and stopped, and then wanted to phase. I mean, so I get it, but that's and it's super fair because the whole purpose of the E-Quadra model is to want to put in as least as possible and get the biggest return as possible, right? So we went to, and I guess it's some ego for us unintentionally. We went to go because we picked you. We're also saying you're the type of person that is going to execute to phase 3 because we agree. But we got tiers, right? So in this model, we getting a chance to pretty much not call it a project anything, put barriers to let people pick who they are. One of the things that Lisa Yaga said to me, because when he gave us what the fuck was that joint, Rambus? What the fuck was that joint? I want to maybe call it a lava cake. I'll look it up. I know you know what it is, Rambus. So we get down to Atlanta, and the bull gave me the play. I put 30,000 in it. You dig me? Because the bread was cool. You know what I mean? And you know what our upside was supposed to be because you put your own money in outside of my money, and we were where we were supposed to be at, and what our returns was. And anything past there is time we bragging or we stupid, right? One of the two. But when I got the information and I had the resources, let me in. So, and of course, I know you do the same because you did the same. You know what I mean, I think mine was 8 figures, and yours was high 7. Either way, but so I know the people we're thinking through will include themselves, right? And that's just that part of it, right? And then we'll have our captive audience without having to wait for Hero, right? Yeah, I don't think there's a way for the Title 3 person or Tier 3 to get them to get the broker we suggest, but we can suggest the broker by having a affiliate link. This is now 2 separate conversations because Basil, your audience would be different from Rambus's, but Rambus is included in this conversation. But he's more or less, as I'm talking to you, he's saying, okay, he's taking his own notes. We'll go from there. But I think it's easier for me is if I'm not in the profit model. So, but y'all got to include Jabir in the profit model because he's the one that's the talent and he's the one that build the marketing. He's building the marketing system. Yeah. I can't think of no other way outside of that. On the split Jones, they definitely got to come through our broker, right? So that's easy. But the Tier 3 people, their split Jones still got to come through our broker, but we're expecting without okaying or saying it to them that they should open up private accounts because they can trade along with Jabir, and that should be their magic. They should be saying, I'm going to get up at 3 in the morning or have whoever get up at 3 in the morning or just take the 90-10 and that's, yeah, I mean, and just get out the way. So I think that's the like if you, Jabir get up at 10:30 and I want to have my COT stuff done by then. So I'm about to wrap this up. I just wanted to get this out of my head. And one document, the cloud said, make the million in the middle, which is the cake, and then all the other stuff come to whatever it's going to be. And then the person that gets $10 a month for each subscription that comes through their affiliate link, then should be the shit. Then we just got a matter of quality control and again, this is phase 3, so there's no rush for us. And in my imagine, like we saw something Rambus, which is building business funding, which is part of course our model, and we will turn that vertical on after, like the business funding stuff seems like it's going to be turned on after we get the transactional funding, earnest money, the Gator funding. That this is an easy place to say that. Get the Gator funding method on. probably not connected to a sequencing on or after getting overages on. I definitely want to turn that model still on. But after that, then Rambus, the play would be each participant. This is me and my mom, Jabir as a self, Sil as a self, you as yourself. I reserve the right to still again, but we'll see. And reserve the right. But this is where we look to have each participant of the mastermind in this structure game planning, building a 500K business funding structure. And 99% of ours is going to be in the market between the futures and the currencies. Yeah. Anyway, that I think I'm about to repeat myself, and I'm cutting it to my other time. So, anyways, we'll talk about it. So I'm looking for your input. RAM is no big deal for us. I just wanted to make sure to let you know that when I'm talking, I still got our stuff in mind, and I'm looking for the places where I offboard and you get a chance to just dance, right? And I think this phase 3 model comes in pretty decent. And so we might hit our bid on trade on Fridays, especially if I'm here. And maybe we'll make like an announcement and not like automatically part of the schedule. But if I'm here, my Friday trading in futures may become relevant for the type of 3 people, the tier 3 people. And then maybe we'll see how that works out with the yeah, anyway. All right, I'm out of here.